We're finally here, the winners of my Space Engineers 2024 Fighter Competition. With Comic-Con, the new Space Engineers news, and many more activities happening, it's taken me a bit of time to get around to doing the results of this competition. But that is okay, as it has given me more time to test out some of these fantastic creations that you've all made. Events like this give the community a chance to shine in what they do, so thank you to all of you who entered and supported this competition. You are amazing. Just before we get to the results, please let me know what building competition we should aim to do next in Space Engineers. Comment your ideas down below. Well, without further ado, let's look at the Space Engineers RWI Fighter Competition 2024 winners. This build competition tasked the community with building a brand new fighter design for Redwood Industries. A big thank you to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video. Don't forget, you can click the link in the video description to learn more about FlexiSpot's Black Friday sales. If you're like me, you probably spend a lot of your time at your desk, either playing games, writing the next sci-fi adventure, or just having fun. However, we all know that takes a toll sometimes. FlexiSpot reached out to me and provided one of their new E7 Pro desks. This is a standing desk that gives you the ultimate stability and more space with this new semi-sea leg structure. Powered by individual drive motors in each leg, this desk has a heavy-duty capacity of up to 160 kilograms, perfect for my monitors, keyboards, laptops, and anything else I want to put on the desk. Features include a 3-in-1 integrated keypad with a 4-way memory controller, along with a built-in charger and even a magnetically concealed cable management tray to hide all those annoying cables. Let's be honest, we all have them. But there's more. FlexiSpot also saw my need for having an ergonomic chair for my new desk. This is the BS14 chair, and it's perfect for myself, especially I spend a lot of time sat at my desk playing games. Features of this chair include easy adjustment, as well as the BS14 chair being able to provide optimal support with adjustable seat depth. Personally, I've had a great experience with the BS14 FlexiSpot chair. Not only has it eased my back pain and gave me a bit of relief, it's also improved my posture and it's more correct now when sitting at the desk. And also, this kind of improves work efficiency. With FlexiSpot's Black Friday sales, you can save money on the E7 Pro desk and the BS14 chair. Black Friday is almost here. Time's ticking. Once the clock runs out, so do the discounts. Act fast. The sooner you buy, the more you save. Be one of the first 30 orders at midnight on the FlexiSpot website for a chance to get your order for free. Head over to the FlexiSpot website to learn more. See the information on screen and click the link in the video description to learn more and start your FlexiSpot journey today. Okay, what are you waiting for? Make it so. In third place, we have the HF302 Javelin Fighter. This design is smaller than our standard F203, but is really impressive as a small and nimble strike design. A big thank you to Phoenix, who designed this one. It looks amazing. They actually produced a time-lapse of themselves building the creation, which you can check out via the Steam Workshop page, linked below. The fighter is armed with 7 Gatling guns, so it will shred anything you put in front of it. Let's take a look in-game. Okay, so let's take a look at the Javelin in-game. Immediately I'm drawn to some of the design details on this fighter craft. For instance, reverse LCD here to show sort of like the high voltage, which I think is an LCD because you can see the glow of the red behind it. If we just get a grinder, I can probably double check if I'm right. Oh, no, is this a battery? What is a small battery? I could swear it was like an LCD but also had those things behind it. Regardless, this is like a really cool little bit of detail there that sticks in, and it kind of like, you know, instead of just putting an armor block there, one, we've got the use of a battery for the systems, but also just having a sticker there. It's just a bit of detail like kind of really like, it just kind of makes the design a bit more lived in a way. So how like Stargate has a lot of like emergency ejection systems in the cockpit to make it feel like a real fighter craft. The design is definitely there for this. Again, this craft is heavily armed and we'll test it out in a minute. I do believe we just have Gatlins. I don't see any rockets on it, so it could just be Gatlins, which is completely fine. It's designed as sort of like a fighter interceptor. I'm happy with that. We've got a lot of hydrogen engines here. It appears all hydrogen based, so no ion thrusters or atmospheric thrusters, which again is completely fine. It does mean it can operate in both space and ground. But it is also, according to Phoenix, a bit of redundancy as well. I think they said there's redundant conveyors, so if the ship is damaged, then it's still able to operate. You know, you're not going to take it at one line and suddenly the ship's going to fall apart. That'd be kind of embarrassing. Let's jump in this one and give it a spin, and we can see how quick it is, because I've already tried it already and I was quite impressed. I actually ended up blowing part of the base up over here when I tested the Gatling guns, as they're a little bit lethal. We also have the camera sort of set up there as well, so if we go into this, we've now got the nose camera, so I can see the frigates over there. And I just whipped the nameplate off of the ship. Already those Gatlins are powerful enough that we managed to eliminate one of those large thrusters, which, you know, is quite powerful. But again, no rockets or anything like that, so I think realistically this fighter would work very well as an interceptor, whereas our 203 works both as like a bomber and an interceptor because it's got the rockets which can cause a lot of damage. This one mainly is just going to work as a fighter interceptor. Still, these Gatlins can cause a lot of damage to ships like the Phoenix here, which admittedly is built out of, you know, light armor, so there's that. But even heavy armor, it can probably do some good damage against. Like that is heavy armor on the side I'm shooting at now, and we're already sort of cutting through it. Like if I just slowly sort of pan through here, we've taken a selection of those engines offline already, just scoring a few critical shots. So a squadron of these probably could do a lot of damage to sort of like ships like the Phoenix and various other things. It'd be interesting to test it out by putting it in like a fighter sort of combat test. We've not done one of those on the channel, so maybe, or in a while should I say, maybe we should take a look at doing one of those. If you'd like to see something like that, let me know, as we could definitely put some of these fighter designs to the test in a sort of like PvP game mode. But in terms of how it handles really nicely, the inclusion of hydrogen thrusters really makes this like a nimble little interceptor. I'm trying not to crash it in a minute because that would be kind of embarrassing, but still I can kind of skirt around a lot of the mountains here on the moon planet, and even we can come to a stop pretty quickly, which is nice. Again, with the giant sort of hydrogen thruster on the back, we can presume sort of like flip and burn. So if I do this, I slow down pretty quickly and I can jet back up into a different direction, which is kind of cool. I like that. I like a bit of maneuverability in my fighters. Admittedly, our 203 design, which is based off the Stargate's 302, is very slow to light stop, which can be a problem sometimes, particularly when recording of it and we end up crashing it. So like if we dive down to here, how quickly can we come to a stop? First on my HUD a second. Oopsies. Almost crashed into the side there. That would have been embarrassing. But no, but Javelin handles really, really well. I'm really happy with the weapon system on it. We've got a bunch of other redundant things, so cameras. I believe that's up in... That's the nose camera again, and this one is our rear camera, so we can see if anything's following us as well, which I kind of like. Also means if this is like a stealth craft, not that it's designed to be one, we can keep an eye on what's sort of going on here. So even with a nose camera, if I spin around a second, we can get a good look at the base before sort of doing a run-up attack on it, which I really like. It's just these sort of like simple features in SE, which really make a fighter design stand out really, really well. So we will return to the landing platform. I'll spin around to try and slow us down without slamming into the ground. Almost. And then lock the gear, and we're done. So this is the Javelin. I really like this, and well done to Phoenix for making a fantastic fighter creation. Don't forget, you can check out all the creations we highlighted today in the Steam Workshop down below in the video description. In a second place, we have the F87 Fighter craft designed by Disvoiced. This design gives me the impression that it could be a heavy fighter design. I mean, just look how heavily armored this one is. It does look awesome. It also nails what I was looking for in terms of fighter jet inspiration, but futuristic. Let's take a look in game. So this is the F87 made by Disvoiced. Now we're going to pay attention, you know, not really to the damage that's going on around here. When I spawned this in, it was not owned by me, and the ships over there kind of blew up the landing platform. Still, you know, revenge me shooting them in the previous entry. This is a heavily armed fighter. We've got assault cannons on the sides here. We've got a lot of Gatling guns. So again, much like we just checked out the Javelin, these Gatling guns are going to be able to cause significant damage to both fighters and grids as well. So we got 2 Gatling guns there on the sort of prow of it, 2 on the top, and then 2 on each wing, I believe. So 8 Gatling guns in total. That's quite a lot, really. A little bit overkill in some ways, but I kind of like it. Also, when we go back to sort of focus on details, I love the inclusion of a weapon sort of thing here as well, so we can access assault rifles. If you're going to land this, you're going to kind of need to access sort of stuff like that. It's not present on the other side, just on that side. It's kind of like one of those random details I really, really enjoy. The inclusion of sort of like these elements here, I always forget what these are. These are the firework launchers. I never use this block in Space Engineers, but it kind of sort of gives that afterburner style approach to the engines, and I really, really like that. They're present on all sides of the engines here, apart from in the middle and not on the bottom. I really sort of enjoy that. It looks really, really nice. There's a giant hydrogen tank in the middle here. This could be seen as a tactical weakness, so if other fighters are shooting us, they could probably clip that, and that might be the end. So I'd say this fight is more designed to be like a quick response and strike fighter. You're not really going to do dogfighting in this, because I imagine as soon as it takes a hit, that hydrogen tank's going to detonate, and this thing's going to fly apart. So that's kind of what made it into option 2 there. I still really like the design. I love the paint job. It feels more like an older style Redwood design. Let's give it a spin. This thing accelerates really quickly, so already at 100 meters a second now. In terms of stopping, it does take a while to slow down, so it kind of suffers from the same problems R203 has, where, you know, it may be really quick and nippy, but slowing down is a pain. Saying that, if we turn around to slow down again, and we accelerate again, I bet we can do flip and burns here and slow down a bit better. So if I do this, like that, there you go, we can slow down quickly. So again, it does come to how you fly the craft, much like all fighter designs realistically. If you are pretty good at flying fighters and space engineers, you're probably going to be able to handle this design relatively well. You know, that stopping action there, it just comes down to how you use it. It's a bit like expand ships in a way. You flip and burn to slow down and accelerate in a different direction. Even me just moving the mouse on there, I've now slowed down completely. Now in terms of the weapons, I don't know what controls we have. They weren't set up on the hotbar, so I believe we may have to configure them. We don't have them, which is a little annoying. I was hoping the weapons would be on the hotbar, but I guess not. So I think it was it. We've got Gatling guns, so we can do GATs, save those. And I believe we've got the assault cannons as well, don't we? So cannons. Okay, it's cannons. Now if I just go to groups, we should be able to shoot on off. Shoot on off. That is a lot of firepower for one fighter. So if we aim back at our unlucky Phoenix here, let's see how much damage we can cause with this one. It's that much firepower, I can't actually see out of the cockpit. If we just focus on the assault cannons a sec, we see how much damage these things cause. I'm trying to aim for that thruster, but we missed it. Yeah, they're on my sides, aren't they? There we go. 2 on each side, so 4 in total. I think we just took out the back thruster there. So already those Gatling guns just cause so much damage to this poor frigate. So you can imagine, if there is a fighter in the way, it's going to get like toasted pretty quickly. Kind of reminds me of a Viper in a way, just that much firepower on one little craft. I still kind of like it. It's very loud. The F87, very, very cool. I really do appreciate how quick it goes. Definitely, I imagine this is like a quick response fighter. This is going to get deployed, make its hits, then make it back to the carrier ship right away. Speaking of which, I guess we kind of now need like a Redwood carrier ship. Maybe that's our next competition. Maybe we design something like that. I don't know. Maybe. We'll have to talk about that another time. Regardless, I'm really enjoying the F87. It is a quick and nimble fight and heavily armed as well. I love the inclusion of the assault cannons. Not enough fighters actually make use of those. Watching if I crash a second there. I really like flying these fighters through sort of the moon canyons. It is really, really cool. Again, slowing down is a factor, so you just got to use it properly in terms of making those harsh turns like that. And already now we're back on track. But still slowing down a little bit. It really does come down to how you actually use the fighter. Right, let's get her back to base and we can land her. Yeah, that goes. Our poor frigate is just taking so much damage. Oh no, it's actually crashing. Once again, I've broken something as space engineers. Turns out when you take out a frigate's side engines... Ooh. Well, it turns out when you fly towards the ground, you also crash as well. Okay, on to the next one. Our first honorable mention goes to Mac Velocity, who has designed the Mantle-class Starfighter. While a breakaway design from our own Stargate-themed F203 fighter, the Mantle-class has some great features like folding wings and 3 large engines to boost it along. Honestly, the design gives me stealth ship vibes or something that's like a quick response fighter. I wish we'd gotten a chance to use this in the Frontier series. I think it could have served future Redwood very well. Now Reload, who always produces some fantastic entries to our building competitions, has designed the Preybird Heavy Fighter. This design just has to make it to the honorable mention list, as it really reminds me of the Z95 Headhunter from the Star Wars universe. I love the design this gives, especially the bulky engines on either side of a cockpit. As indicated by the name, this fighter design is heavily armed and appears to be designed to take on larger craft. I mean, it's equipped with an M2 destroyer launcher and assault cannons. You're not going to be messing around with this one. Well, since its F86E Garnet design was so close to being our #1 winner, it really was a hard choice. The design of a fightercraft is a specialized fighter interceptor armed with 4 devastating autocannons and 2 rocket launchers that are actually located on the wingtip of the craft. It's even capable of flying an atmosphere of up to 1.6 Gs. Very nice. Okay, on to the one we've all been waiting for. Choosing the first place in any competition is always really hard. Still, our first place of a fighter competition goes to Strider 01. Their design of the F106B Fighter is simply amazing. This takes inspiration from real-life designs such as the F35, F22 and Su-57, which are all fantastic designs. Let's take a look at our winning design in-game. Okay, so this is our first place winner. This is by Strider 01. It is the F106B, or however you want to say it, 106B Fighter. You know, you can say it whichever way you want. I really love this design, mainly use of the texture work going on here. Like, it looks like it's aged, but also new at the same time. And it is also based off of the F35, the F22, and the Su-57, like I said in the initial overview. Weapon system wise, this is another heavily armed fighter. 3 Gatling guns up front here as well. We've also got the rockets on the wingtips over here as well, which is a really cool addition. But I'm really loving the detailer work. As with all these fighters, the creators have gone to so much great lengths in making it detailed really well. Firework launchers over here, I guess these could also be used as flares in a way. Is a good way of looking at it. We've also got the tires over here as well, sort of build things out and just sort of like upgrades the design really, really well. Hydrants is all built in there. We've got a connector on top as well. Do we have one on the bottom is my question. I can't remember when I took a look at this originally. We don't, but we do have landing gears. So I'm thinking like this could be held like in a docking sort of cradle and then sort of deployed down and released, which is a nice way of doing it. Like this could sit at the top of a hangar bay, sort of like how TIE fighters are stored at the top of the bay for fighter pilots to come and get into, which is a nice way of doing things. The LCDs are pointing forward, not quite sure why that's there. It's interesting at least. In terms of engines, we've got 3 large hydrogen engines. I guess these are our 2 main ones, and we've got a boost one over here as well, which is really, really nice. I really love this sort of design. Let's give it a spin as I'm eager to test it out. Again, I tested that the other day, but it's been about a week or so since I flew that. So in terms of our engines, we've got the Gatling guns over there. This was made of the Azimuth mod. I don't think I have the Azimuth mod installed, so I may be missing one of the Gatling guns because it's on my HUD there. I'm not quite sure where it was meant to be. Yeah, I'm not sure a thing with the Gatling gun. I do have the Azimuth mod installed, but apparently it's not picking up that gun anymore, so maybe I have like a different version. Regardless, you know, we can take a look at it another time. We've definitely got a lot of weapons on the HUD there as well. Let's quickly put these on here, because they are not set for weapon core, which is not a problem. Not everyone builds their stuff for weapon core. And it should be rocket launchers. Okay, while I would love to show you the rocket launchers actually working and causing some damage, it appears Space Engineers, even after a reboot, doesn't want to fire them, which is not an issue with the fighter. It's mainly weapon core and SC itself, so don't worry about those. But you can imagine they're going to cause quite a lot of damage to ships like this, much like the actual Gatling guns and the assault cannons we've seen on the previous fighters. So in terms of our engines, we can accelerate pretty quickly just with just sort of the dual engines. But if we enable the boost engine, we've now got an extra bit of speed as well. So we slow down here. Stopping speed, really impressed by that. This fighter handles really well. So let's see how quickly we accelerate. So we go now, I'm just going to hold down W. It's a little bit of a slow acceleration of just the 2 thrusters. So if I come to a stop again, and again, we stop really quickly. Let's enable number 6 now for our boost engine. And that was a lot quicker there, and our handles a lot quicker. Now, one thing to keep in mind is we are going to drain fuel if this was a survival setting. I'm testing this all in creative, mainly as we build ships for sort of creative and cinematics, but obviously if it's a survival, having the extra engine on there may drain the fuel a little bit quicker. So it's just something to keep in mind. Still, this fighter handles really, really nicely. And it just looks beautiful as well. I could easily see this dropping bombs or, you know, making use of those rockets if they worked. Interesting with fireworks don't want to fire as well. I just don't think the weapon system's wanting to play ball today in Space Engineers, which is a bit of a shame, but maybe we'll test this one out another time in like a proper conflict. Its turning speed isn't too bad as well. There's still a bit of drag there as we're sort of going a max acceleration, coming around a bend. Much like we checked out the other fighters, if we use our speed and sort of turn into it, we can use the thrusters to propel us back around. Same again, if we had the big thruster on and now we begin a turn, it handles really well using a main engine. It allows us to glide around corners and sort of come about really, really quickly. All in all, this is a very, very fun fighter design. I definitely suggest you check it out on the Steam Workshop. I'm taking a pause there, so I thought I was going to smash into that mountain for a second. And definitely let us know what you think of these fighters down below in the video comments, because I'm really, really impressed with the build quality of what people have put together for this competition, as it looks simply beautiful. And we thread a needle between his figures. Yeah, we can easily do that. I kind of want to get some more bolts or like fighter maneuvers going, but just know I'm going to crash it like I crashed the other one. As you know, fighter flying, not my area of expertise. I prefer bigger capital ships like Star Destroyers and such, and Dreadnoughts. So yeah, not really into nimble fighters. Still, this competition has now given Redwood a lot more craft to play with in terms of fighters when we come and do series like Frontier, Colony Alliances, the next Space Engineers story series, and many things like that. I wonder if we can quickly get around the bend here. Oh, we can. It's very close to a mountain now I almost crashed into, but we made it back home safe. Alright, let's land this one, and we will continue the rest of the video. So there we have it. Thank you so much to everyone who participated in this fighter competition. A big thank you to our winners, who will all receive Steam gift cards for their time. It's always super hard picking winners and runners up of these types of competitions. I wish we could give prizes to everyone, as the quality of creations only gets better and better each time we do this. Of course, you'll see some of these ships in upcoming projects and videos through next year. Thank you all for your patience. As I mentioned at the start of this video, it is up to you to decide what we do next. I do have an interesting idea in mind, but I always like to hear from yourselves on what we could possibly do. Okay everyone, thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.